We have just a minute or so before we're going to officially start. Okay, we are. All right, we're officially going to start right now. All right, welcome everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesdays with Nancy. Okay, so anybody have any questions from last week?
Mm, I love
All right, that's a no. All right,
it. All
so
right.
let's let me see. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Okay. All right, so let's review what we've gone through already. Okay. First essential. What's the first essential?
Empty, lively, pushing up, and energetic.
All right, and Shelly, what does that mean?
That means that you're really connecting and relaxing and connecting at the same time. And you're trying to also, sinking your chi so you can breathe freely. Um, and I think, you know,
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Marion, how are you?
Good. How is everybody? Hi, Rita.
Okay, so anybody else have any comments on what that first essential means to you?
The upper body's supposed to be light.
that's
Yes,
right.
that's very true. Hmm. Okay, anything else? All right,
Spirit,
I'm sorry.
spirit.
Okay, and what about the spirit, Miss Cheryl?
Sorry, I'm glitching out with my internet. The head lifting up, the connection, just bring the spirit up, lifting the spirit.
Okay, and how do we raise our spirit? How if I'm looking at you doing your tai chi, or if you're looking at me, how do you know that my spirit is lifted?
The eyes.
Connection.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Repeat.
I said the eyes, but what did Rebecca say?
What did Rebecca say? What did Rebecca say? Miss Rebecca?
Mhm.
Well, that's one way to get out of answering the question. Just name somebody else. Okay.
Comment?
Okay, so this is very true, Cheryl. The eyes, all right. So what am I looking for when I'm looking for people like in ranking or doing demo training? Is I'm looking to see that they're looking at the horizon, that they're not looking down. Okay, so we show our spirit. It's just like when we're talking, engaged, talking with one another. There's a difference between me and looking at you in your eyes when I talk, or just kind of looking away, or kind of looking down, kind of thing. So we show our spirit by the by our eyes and where we're looking. Okay, and how do we show yin and yang?
Kind of empty and full.
Okay,
Like when you do your weight is going to change appropriately for one thing, and you're going to just yeah, that's all I had to say.
Are you talking about for the first principle, Nancy?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, our head goes up, but the rest of our body kind of goes down.
Yes. All right. Very true. So I want you to feel that your head is lifted and everything else from the head down is suspended or is it's hanging down. By doing the first essential, this is going to help all the other essentials. Okay. That has to do with the body shape, by keeping our elbows and our shoulders down, by relaxing our waist. You should feel up and down. All right. So, how do we get that down feeling aside from feeling that the body is suspended? When we're in preparation mode, how do we get that up down feeling?
Root.
And bubbling well.
Okay, by sinking into the bubbling well. All right, we haven't really talked that much about that, John. Where's the bubbling well?
Well, it's just behind. Uh, well, was at the top of your arch behind your second and toe in the your big toe and your second toe, and yeah, just behind the transverse arch and your heel, that space.
Okay, so we say it's just right beyond the ball of the foot, between the ball and the arch of the foot, in the middle of the
Yeah,
foot. Yes,
yeah,
so that's the bubbling well. And this is where the suction cup thing happens, right?
right.
Okay, so aside from that, how do you know that? How do you get that feeling of up and down when you're in preparation?
The middle finger is feels like it's being pulled down in
Exactly
preparation.
right, Allison. Very, very good. Okay, so we know that there's like a weight that is attached to our middle finger with the string, kind of helping, bring the arms down, kind of forcing the shoulders and the elbows down as well to help that feeling of suspension, of that hanging down feeling. Okay, and so we know that we keep the head lifted like there's a book on the top of our head. It allows the neck and the spine to straighten by keeping that head up and suspending everything down and having everything hang down. So that makes the elbows and the shoulders down. We went through that last week. And then we should have that feeling of yin and yang, head lifted up, the rest of us, kind of going down, sinking ourselves into the bubbling well, into our feet. That helps make the lower body heavy, upper body light, middle body flexible,
Like,
right? So, and we have to make sure that our eyes are being aware of what our surroundings are. So, our looking direction is very, very important. Okay, so any questions about this first essential?
can I ask you a question about looking direction and elbow energy? I
Sure.
mean, does our gaze look down towards our, like, imparting the course vein? Does our gaze kind of go down, glance down, looking back to the person that our elbow is theoretically engaging?
This is a great question, John. We do look down. However, there's a difference between doing this in wild horse parts of Maine. There's a difference between doing this versus keeping the head up and just kind of looking kind of beyond the elbow
Okay,
and the eyes gazing downward. So we have to really kind of watch the dipping of the head. Okay, so we want to make sure that the head still stays lifted, even though the eyes we may kind of tilt a little bit more so that we're in a good position. But never will I be doing this. So if you feel that there's a disconnect between your neck and your head, which means that your head is kind of really kind of sagging down, then we still need to kind of straighten that up.
thank you.
You're
The other
welcome.
thing, the other thing about that move, Nancy, when if as I've done it both ways, when my head is down, I'm very aware that I have no idea of my surroundings at that point.
Well,
And
you
I'm
do
a
with on the
target.
ground.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't see what's coming at my head at that point.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
defeats the
So
purpose.
good observation. And your balance may be affected as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have a question though about the first essential, and it's like lively, pushing up, and energetic. Empty, lively, pushing up, and energetic. To me, I don't know, lively seems the same as energetic. Is that not the same? Or I'm not sure what exactly that looks like, other than that you look like you have some energy with the way you're moving. Like you're not just like floating through space, like it's not just playing with your hands. You actually have some intention.
Yes, that's why this first essential for people that are new, uh, whenever you start a class, whenever in the past we would start a class at the center, then we would hand out the 10 essentials in the welcome packet, right? And people look at that. I know I looked at it and I just thought, I don't know what does that mean, kind of a thing. So it should give you an idea an overview of what it is, yet it doesn't fully explain what it is that we really want.
Right.
So the thing is that you need to have your head connected to something, connected to something. So that it's so the energy part, the energetic part is talks about the energy, right? So we need to kind of push the head up, and so that everything else can basically, and I don't want to say empty, but if we look at the what um, it says pushing up an energetic means that the posture of the head is upright and straight, and the spirit is infused into its apex. Um, and in Tai Chi, we do not use brute strength. So um, the heading for the first essential is very mysterious in some ways, because it's like you have to really read what it is, but it's not maybe enough to just read it.
That's it.
It needs more explanation. So so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt the same thing. So we have to have the intent of um, having this yin and yang connection, so that the head is basically connecting to heaven, or to the sky, is connecting to something, so that the rest of the body can kind of move around, while the head is doing its job in maintaining, ensuring that we are looking at what's going on. It's kind of like um, when you're driving your car. Try driving. Oh, okay, don't do this, all right? I was going to say, try driving your car with your head tilted down. Okay, don't do that, all right? Because, we're here doing this, but yet we can do other things while we're still looking, at where we're going and our surroundings.
Right.
So actually, the first essential is very important. And so, like Sharon said, trying to do these first couple of essentials, she's now feeling it in her body. What I should say, if I'm hearing her correctly, her body's now responding to her trying to get into this kind of posture, because if you haven't been doing it and you start doing it, then it's something new to your body. It's just the same as this. We're going to be working on this today, okay? This relaxed hug a tree. Until your body gets used to it, your muscles now are saying, okay, well, this is new. I'm feeling stretched. I'm feeling, kind of achy. Thank you very much for doing this to me. I was great without having to learn all this part about, doing this hug a tree kind of thing. So yeah, it's the first essential. If you try to do the first essential throughout the whole form, good luck.
Nance,
Yes.
um, maybe I'm making up my own definition, but the lively part of this to me was, how you're supposed to be connecting your joints and muscles and tissues and bone and everything, and not make it limp or not make it tight, but just kind of stretched, which gave you the opportunity to react well.
Yeah.
To me, that's what lively meant.
Okay.
I don't, I maybe, again, making it up in my own little pea brain, but it felt good. Felt like a good definition.
Okay, so here in the written part, it says lively, and it's in quote, lively, and then in quotes it says, or free. So you must have an intention which is empty, free, and natural. Without intention that is empty, lively, pushing up and energetic, you won't be able to raise your spirit. So, you can try doing your Tai Chi like this. You know, how lively is that? How it just feels weird. Anyway, it's just a very strange feeling. So, um, yeah. So I mean, it can mean a different things for everybody. What does empty mean? Empty means to suspend, right? So that we are connected, but everything else is just kind of suspended down, right? So, And that's also the pushing up part by keeping the head connected. So, yeah. All right. Any other comments on the first essential?
Well, just one more about my own body. You know, I have a natural tilt my whole life to one side, and I'm learning how, you know, when I'm doing it to, like, I guess somebody pulling up my Dr. Spock ears or pushing my, you know, to make them even. But it's kind of like I find myself going into this bad habit all the time that, you know, is kind of my natural stance. Oh yeah, my head is like, oh,
You
tilted
know
to
where
the
that comes out a lot in people, John, is in this movement. I'll go this direction. There's a difference between this and this,
yeah.
right? So yeah, it'll come out in you know, those kind of movements. But you're not alone. Somebody that's pretty close to me has had that same issue. But you
Oh,
know, I mean, it just comes
Yeah.
out. You know, I knew a person that was a teacher for a very long time, and she finally recorded herself, and she was shocked at what she saw because what she saw herself doing was tilting, tilting. Okay, and she didn't realize that she was tilting because, you know, as instructors, you know, we're doing our form, but we're looking, we're looking. So that was her habit. So you know when you know, so videotaping is really good. It helps us. I would tell people, if you you know, when you videotape yourself, you no longer need a real a teacher. I mean, that's kind of a joke, but because you can look at yourself and you'll see all your flaws. And so you know, you can have class with yourself and be very humbled in the privacy of your own home without anybody else watching you. Yeah,
can we talk, Nancy, could we talk a little bit more about empty?
sure.
I have a little trouble getting my mind around that, like empty with intent. So to me, empty doesn't mean suspended. It means like vacant. It means absent. It means
Yes.
there's a hole, like a black hole somewhere, and there's nothing around it. That's how I think of it.
Uh-huh.
But it sounds like there's a different way to look at it from what they're describing. Empty with intent, meaning like what? You're not constricted in how you move.
Nancy,
Yes.
Relax.
the way I hear it is empty with intent is ready to receive something.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. So empty has to do with intention as it pertains to this document. It says you must have an intention which is empty. All right. So when an opponent comes to you, it it would be to our detriment to have a preconceived idea as far as what we're going to do. We have to then respond at that moment to what it is that they're doing without having a preconceived notion of oh, okay, Mike's walking towards me. I'm going to use ward off. If he does something to me, I'm going to ward off. Or actually, I'm going to strike. Okay, or I'm going to split his elbow. You know what I mean? So, but he hasn't even done anything yet. So we have to, um, you know, this has to do somewhat with the last essential, and that is seek quiescence. And that means that we just focus on what it is that we're doing, and we're only thinking about Tai Chi. So any other thoughts, we have to shut that monkey brain off, okay? So the empty has to do with intention. Michael just said to me, you know, to think of, he thinks of empty as like, you know, a vacuum. You know, our head, the middle of our head is you know, being sucked up or something. But you know, in the written literature, it says you must have an intention which is empty, lively or free, and natural. So we cannot come in with any preconceived ideas. It's kind of like uh, when you drive your car and you're going to your destination, for you to think, okay, now if somebody were to walk across the, I'm approaching this next signal, but if like a ball throws out or whatever, then I know I'm going to have to put on the brake, or maybe I'll have to turn right because somebody's going to try to veer into me or whatever. That's kind of setting yourself up and not allowing your mind to just experience what it is that's going on in now. So Tai Chi wants to keep you present. You must stay present in the moment, and you have to turn all that other stuff off.
Yeah, Nancy, I think that's helpful because the way I look at it is being present, like you talked about, being present and being open to whatever
Yes.
is happening in your environment, and not that you're completely empty in space, in outer space, but just it's almost a meditative state, that you're present and here and just enjoying what's now.
Right.
Whether it's good or bad, but just recognizing that you're here and this is, and it's all going to pass anyway.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why Tai Chi, when we're doing Tai Chi, it wants us in the middle, no expression, no happy, glad, sad, mad, or whatever. We are in the middle, so that at any moment we can be happy, at any moment we can be sad, but we're in the middle, and from being in the middle, we can adjust ourselves either way. Okay, but if we're already over here, then we have further to travel. So we always want to come from a place of neutrality, being centered. All right, and it's kind of like, for instance, take this class. Before the class, I was not saying to myself, okay, what question is Marion going to ask me today? Is John going to make a comment? What is Shelley going to say today? Is she going to ask a very important question? I'm not doing any of that. I'm staying here with you guys, and whatever questions you ask, we're going to discuss. So I have no preconceived ideas as far as what's going to happen in our class, other than the syllabus that I have outlined as far as what it is that I want to cover. So always trying to stay neutral, so that anything that comes to us, we are able to respond one way or the other. Yeah, very good points.
That all helps me quite a bit. Actually, all of that makes a lot of sense to me. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, good. All right, let's talk about second essential. Second essential that we discussed was shoulders and elbows down. Now, I know some of you went to the paper, and the paper says holding the chest and slightly round the back. Well, I like to go anatomically. So the head and then the shoulders and elbows come next. Okay, chest is third for me. But we can go address all the four components that have to do with the body. But anyway, so let's talk about shoulders and elbows down. What does that mean?
Shoulders.
Well, it means that your shoulders are not raised up around your neck. Your shoulders are relaxed. The muscles are loose, drooped slightly. I don't think it means shove them down, but let them fall at a slope if you can.
Okay.
For a start.
You're relaxed but taut.
Okay.
Maybe.
Relaxed but connected.
Relaxed but connected. Okay. So this essential, shoulders down to elbows down, you're doing this if you're applying the first essential. And the first essential I want is key to all the four body elements. All right. So if you're doing the first essential, then your elbows and your shoulders will be down. Mm-hmm. The moment you let go of the first essential, then it's kind of like your children when you're on the telephone. If you've had little kids, the moment you get on the telephone, they start coming up, or they start doing, oh, she's not looking, or he's not looking, I can do whatever, right? Okay, same thing holds true with the rest of the body essentials. Is like, if you're not doing the first essential, well, then the other one's going, okay, well, then I can do this, okay? So the first essential helps make sure that the other ones that apply to the body are intact. So uh, um, when you apply the first essential, hopefully it'll keep your elbows and shoulders down. It'll keep your upper body relaxed without any tension. Okay. It'll also help your chi go down. So how do we know when our chi is sinking? When our chi is down?
When the energy or the breath that you feel is in the pit of your stomach.
Ooh, I kind of like that. So that means what then, Marion? What are you doing with your stomach?
Well, it's relaxed and
Breathing.
it's not held like a vice like mine is all the time.
Okay,
And then you are able to move the rest of your body and breathe more naturally.
exactly right.
Keep
So
your
when we raise up the shoulders or raise up the elbows, what happens? What do we lose? What do we lose by this?
The shape of the body.
We
and
lose the shape.
we lose our ease of breath of breathing.
Okay, ease of breath, ease of breathing. What else?
Cutting off our chi.
Okay, we cut off our chi. What else? I'm
We're
looking
not
for a word and
connected.
it starts with an F, like in Frank.
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 Or
We
figure.
lose our flexibility. Flexibility, okay? So we lose our flexibility, okay? All right. Any questions on the second essential? Okay, that's a no. All right, Michael. All right, so let's go on. Okay, so remember the first four essentials focuses and applies to body shape, breathing, abdominal breathing, and sinking the chi for balance and stability. All right, so the third essential for me is holding the chest round the back or slightly round the back. So what does the literature say? The phrase hold in the chest means the chest is slightly reserved inward, which causes the chi to sink to the dantian. Now, does everybody know what the dantian is?
No.
Below the belly.
I'm sorry, Miss Veronica, Miss Rebecca?
Below the belly.
The
It's
belly.
below the belly button. It's
Above.
about 3 fingers below the belly button. That's, I like to call our little house of chi. That's our little chi pouch. That's where our chi comes and goes. That's its house. It, goes around and then it comes back home. Okay. So the chi then sinks down to the dantian. The chest must not be puffed out. Okay. If you do so, then the chi is blocked in the chest region. The upper body becomes heavy and the lower body light, and it will become easy for the heels to float upward, meaning that our feet start to lose connection with the floor. Slightly round the back makes the chi stick to the back. So what does that mean? Stick to the back, kind of like a post-it note. If you are able to hold in the chest, then you will naturally be able to slightly round the back. So if you take your fingers and put it on your, I don't know what's this called. This is
Sternum.
Sternum.
your sternum, and then you push it in a little bit, you're going to notice that your shoulders are going to come forward a little bit, and by doing that, then your back then becomes rounded. So then that connects the upper body. That helps to connect the upper body, right? If you can slightly round the back, then you will be able to emit strength from the spine, which others cannot oppose. Holy schmoly. Okay, so us women, we like to know that, when we do stuff, that, people cannot oppose us. Well, okay, they may not agree with us, but anyway, we're talking about in a fight or something like that, right? So that gives us a remarkable ability to be flexible enough to where we can, get rid of our opponent, okay? So, uh, what this means is that we connect the upper body and that so that we then become flexible, more flexible, okay? Master Yang will say that when the chest rises, the chi comes up and the back will then go the reverse direction. It'll go sink in. So it's actually the reverse of what we want. We will round the chest and the back will sink in. Um, this essential goes along with relaxing the waist, and we'll get to that next week. When the chest or the breastbone is slightly concaved in, it will make the back feel open or rounded. Okay, it'll arch it out a little bit. The stomach area should be relaxed, and the chi is able to sink down. Okay, I just want to reiterate that when we talk about chi sinking down, or when chi sinks down to the dantian, it means that our stomach is able to breathe freely. All right, so I want you to think about your back being rounded and your rounded or closed, and if the back is closed and collapsed, then the chest will open up and the shoulders will go back. So this kind of goes against what it is that we want to do. This is the opposite direction. But if the back is open and rounded, the chest will feel a natural sinking and absorbing. Imagine like a bow. So here you get your bow, and then when you go like this with the bow, then it just kind of forms this position. So it then opens. To open or draw open the bow, connect the elbows and shoulders together. They should feel like drawing a bow open. So, when you're in your hug a tree position, you know that your chest is slightly concaved in and your back is round, as if each joint is connected. Each joint, but we like to talk, or at least I should say, I like to talk a lot about the elbow connected to the shoulder. When the elbow is connected to the shoulder, you will have this slight stretching. You're welcome, Sharon, by the way. Okay, you'll have this slight stretching here, which will then automatically make your chest come in. It will automatically make your back round. So instead of this position, it'll round the back. So we have this bowing effect that's going on. So, anybody have any questions on this? All right, so someone in the virtual class that I did back in May of last year, someone asked, well, how do you know if you have too much open or closed? How do you know if it's too much? Okay, all right, so what I want everybody to do is I want you to go ahead and we're going to try this together. Okay, so hug your tree. All right, now go further. Hug it really big. All right, now I want you to notice what happens to your head. What happens to your head?
It becomes a turtle.
That's a good example, Marian. Oh my gosh, I really like that. Okay, I really like that. Okay, so what happens then is that the first essential then is broken. So that's how you know when you've gone too far, is if your head is not able to be lifted, then you know you have to back off from that. So this will make the elbows and the shoulders and the chi sink down so you have more balance with your upper body if you are just right. If you're just right, then you should have everything there. The waist should be relaxed. You should have your flexibility. You should have your body shape. Your head should be lifted. Your elbows and your shoulders should be down. Your chest is slightly concave. Your back is slightly rounded. And you should be in great shape. Your head is lifted, right? Okay, so now we know the difference between if you aren't applying this essential or not. We know then that we're going to lose that first essential. So, all right. So let's practice. Let's go through. Let's go up to push, and let's see if we can maintain this hold the chest, rounding the back essential. Okay. All right. So we'll go to prepare. Okay. Hands touching the outer part of your thighs. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Okay. Hands touching the outer part of your thighs, looking straight forward. All right, so this essential has a lot to do with body shape, right? All right, make sure your head, okay, hook it up to heaven, hook it up to the ceiling, all right? So lift your head, okay, connect it to something. Then from your middle finger, have that weight kind of pulling down slightly. Are you able to breathe naturally with your stomach? All right. Looking straight forward. Opening, rotate your arms and lift to shoulder height. Once to shoulder height, drop your elbows just a little bit and let your arms press down, leading with the upper arm, then the forearm, and then the palms. All right, almost at the bottom, we go to ward off left. Shift left, turn right. Where are you looking? Okay, where's your looking direction? Straight forward, right? Well, straight forward in the turn direction, okay? Now, as you circle your arms, make sure you maintain your body structure. Keep the elbow and shoulder down. Arms closed, step. Then ward off left. Okay, do you have this connection with the upper body? Or are you like this? Connect your upper body. Ward off right, back to center. Turning, dropping the elbow just a little bit. Rotating for grab and pull, looking at the grab and pull direction. Close your arms and step. Do you have your body shape? Is your chest sinking? Is your back rounded? Then go to ward off right. Roll back, turn to the right, rotate both arms. Stay right here. Do you have this connection with your upper body? Now turn to the left. Where's your looking direction? We're looking kind of following the right hand direction. Then go to press, turn back. Left palm connects, then expand out. You should feel this connection with your upper body. Are you breathing okay? Separate your arms to shoulders width. Shift back. Roll over a ball in front of the chest. Okay, here. Okay, let's stop here for just a second. All right, so everybody relax. This is a spot where students often will lose the body shape. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So, you know, some people, maybe no one here, will come like this and they'll go like this. What's wrong with this picture?
Your shoulders on back.
Okay, all right, so I want everybody to do this with me. So extend your arms out. You're in a right bow stance, right foot forward. All right, shift your weight back, bring your arms back level, then roll over a ball in front of your chest, have your elbows next to your body. What's wrong with this picture?
Elbows are next to your body.
I'm sorry, Miranda?
Your elbows are too close. You're losing your hugging shape.
You are losing your, we are losing our hugging shape. Yay! Okay. Put a star on the calendar for today for you, Miss Miranda. Yes. Okay, because if this is our body shape, and then if we bring our arms in, this is our shape for push, right before we push. The elbows should not go past our sides, because when they go past the sides, then it opens up the chest and makes the back concave in. If the arms are too close to our body, we have now lost upper body connection. We have lost our body shape. Okay? So just say no, don't do it. All right, so let's go back to press. Right foot forward, left palm touching right middle forearm, looking straight forward. Okay, have your body shape, have your connection with the upper body. All right, turn, separate your arms. Now shift back, keep your body shape. Roll over a ball. So do you have this shape? Are your elbows past your sides? They should be along your sides. Okay, then from here, push forward. Okay, can you feel or can you tell the difference between those two? Yes is a good answer. Okay, so let's try this again from almost at the bottom. Let's go to ward off left. Shifting left, turning to the right. Where's your gaze? Following our movement. Circle. Keep the right elbow down. Have your body shape. Close your arms and step. Ward off left. Looking at the 3 o'clock direction. Make sure your left knee is following your left foot. All right, ward off right. Back and turn. Dropping that left elbow slightly. Rotate the left arm, looking at the left arm direction. Close your arms and step. You have your body shape here. Then go to ward off right. Roll back, turn, keep that extension. Now shift back, turn to the left. Where are you looking? Following the body turning. Turn back. Left palm touches right middle forearm. Expand out. Separate your arms to shoulders width. Shift back, watch your body shape, and push forward. How's this, everybody?
Feels better.
Feels better. You know, remember when you first started learning Tai Chi?
Still am.
Yeah.
Still am.
Well, yeah. Okay. Oh, good point. Good point. Okay. Remember when you first started class and you had no, you didn't know the form yet, and you were in class, and how much you really had to think about what you were doing and making sure your feet were this way and that way, and your arms were doing this, and then you had to remember the name of the movement, and then you had to do it over and over again and things like that. And remember how you like held your breath like forever while you're trying to learn how to do these movements? Okay. We're still in learning mode. All right. So I especially want you to notice your breathing, because one of the most common effects that we have when we're in learning mode, uh, and we're in learning and doing mode, is holding the breath, because we're using our mind to concentrate and then we forget to breathe. Okay. So now I want you to try to keep in mind what it is we're doing with the body, but I also want you to remind yourself, breathe. Okay, make sure you breathe. Okay, that's a requirement in order to attend this class. You must breathe. Okay. All right, so we're going to try this again. Hands almost at the bottom. All right, then we're going to go to ward off left, shifting, turning, circle. Is your elbow down? Close. You have your body shape. Go to ward off left. Back, ward off right, turn. Shifting to the left, grabbing and pulling. Close the arms and step. You have your body shape. Go to ward off right. Breathe. Rotate. Keep your body shape. Keep breathing. Turn. Press. Turn back. Breathe in and now breathe out. Push. Separate your arms. Remember your body shape. Breathing in and breathe out. How are we feeling?
You know, Nance,
Hey, Shelly.
I cannot for the life of me figure out how to relax that darn stomach and breathe through it more comfortably. It just like I spent 65 years sucking my tummy in.
Yeah.
And now you want me to do something different, and I just can't figure out how to make it happen consistently.
Yeah. You know, just remember, Shelly, we are all a work in progress.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Well, okay. So I have another question to ask you. I have a question to ask you, and that is this. How long did it take for you to keep your feet shoulders width apart? Or was that easier for you?
That actually was pretty easy. It was the looking down. I mean, you've coached me for the last 4 years to quit looking at the floor, quit looking at my feet. Maybe that's why my feet were in the right place, because I was always looking at them.
Okay. So now you've gone up your body. So now their feet know what to do. Now you got to talk to your tummy.
Okay, I just have 3-4 years and I'll get there, huh?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
you know, and we all eventually do.
Shelly, I have two positions for my stomach. It's either not breathing, or it's like a sheet of steel.
Yeah, those are mine too.
Yeah.
Yes. Some of you guys here may not understand what we're talking about, but as growing up, little girls, we were taught to always suck in our stomach.
I can remember my grandma and my mom both telling me that.
Yeah. So, so now we're hopefully at an age where, it's like your breathing is more important.
I am there.
Yeah. So, breathing's more important. And, as it applies to our Tai Chi, it's okay. It's okay. So, we just learn how to do different things. And for some of us, it's a lifelong pattern that we've had for for all these years that we have to now uh, teach ourselves how to undo that.
So
And
practice makes comfortable. Is that
oh,
right?
absolutely, and that's what we want. All right. So how are we doing on this third essential? Yeah? Does it feel okay? Okay, I'm getting two thumbs up from from Miss Marion. All right. And Shelly and Miss Veronica, she likes holding her body shape. That's good. Hug that tree. All right. Okay, so let's go through the whole first section. All right, and I'm going to give you cues on all these three, the three essentials that we worked on so far. Okay. All right. So let's start. All right. So prepare means let's get everything ready. Check your feet. This is the one time you can look down at the floor. All right. Make sure your feet are shoulders width apart. Feet point straight if they can. All right. Hands touching the outer part of your thighs. Get that hook connected to the ceiling. Looking straight forward. Middle finger hanging down. All right. Let's breathe. Breathe in and out. All right. Ready? Opening. Rotate and lift to shoulder height. Breathing in. Then breathe out. Hands almost at the bottom. Ward off left. Keep your head lifted as you turn, as you circle your arms. Get that body shape. Elbows and shoulders down. Step. Go to ward off left. Ward off right. Back and turn. Rotate. Closing the arms and step. Got your body shape? Ward off right. Roll back. Keep that elbow down. Turn. You have your body shape. If you've got your body shape, then you are sinking your chest. Press. Push. How are your elbows? Don't go past your sides. Single whip. Keep your head up. Watch the direction your body's going. Keep breathing. Shoulders, elbows down. Feel this upper body connection? Raise hands and step forward. Open. Don't have your elbows go past your sides. Step. Raise hands. White crane, rotate. Circle back. Arms closed, step. White crane spreads its wings. Left knee brush, rotate, circle back, swing. Step. Is your right elbow down? Brush knee and push. Are you breathing? Hand strums the lute. You have your body shape here, feel connection. Rotate, circle back, left knee brush. Right knee brush, back and turn. Circle back. Keep that connection here. You feel connection? Then brush knee and push. Left knee brush and push, back and turn. Circle back, following the body motion, looking direction. Hand strums the lute. Keep breathing. Left knee brush, rotate, circle back. Swing, step. Brush knee and push. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Back and turn. Parry. Step. Parry. Block. And punch. Apparent closing up. Breathe in. How are your elbows? Breathe out. Cross hands. closing. Keep that extension. Keep that connection. Your head up, looking straight forward, and finish. How's that, everybody? So what challenged you? Did you notice if you were breaking any of those essentials? This is a place where you can confess.
I broke them all.
You broke a rule, Veronica?
I broke every rule.
Okay.
My shoulders got up, my breathing stopped. And when you're doing the parry block and punch, how can you do that with your shape?
That's
you know, you're going around back this way, and then you come forward, and then this way. And it seems like I couldn't figure that one out. I have to practice.
Okay.
Now, that one, in that one, aren't you able to keep it by the way you turn your waist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your upper body. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you turn it enough, you can keep your shape better, which I don't always do, but.
I have a lot to learn yet. I'm needy, you know that.
Okay, so with parry block and punch, people break two rules here. They break the lifting the head, and they break the elbows and shoulders down. Okay, so how do they do that? Because they do like this. Okay. So there's a lot of breaking going on here. All right, so how do we do this without breaking those rules? All right, so here I have my connection. Back and turn. Parry. Look at my head. Parry. All right, now I'm going to go this sideways direction so you can see. Okay, block. Don't do this. Block. The moment you do this, we know this needs to get rounded. When you're like this, then this is pulled back. So we know then we need this shape. We need this shape. We need to have this rounded shape. So if you get this rounded shape and you bring your arm here, then you know this is where you're at with parry block and punch. So if you have a question on body parts, go to your body shape. When you have your body shape, here's push. Okay, here's punch. Here's here's knee brush. It's not this, it's this. Okay? So you can always check yourself by checking your body shape first. Get into your hug a tree. All right? Make sure this first essential is plain. When this first essential is lost, then everything else can kind of fall by the wayside. So this first essential will help make sure that you're sinking your chest, your shoulders and elbows are down, and then next week we're going to go over relaxing the waist. Cannot relax your waist very well if your head is down.
Nancy?
Yes?
I have a question about the rounding of the arms when you're doing a strike or a push. So what I think of it as is say strike from the shoulders, go straight forward, but are you supposed to be rounding that arm slightly as if to keep the shape with all the, are you doing that with every single move you make, including striking or punching?
Okay, this is a good question, Marion. All right, so maybe I'll go this front direction. There's a difference between this versus this. This versus this.
But
gets back to my golf ball thing.
But go ahead and finish the strike, go straight forward with your right arm, and then what does it look like when you complete it? Are you
turning? We're turning. But if we're like this, it's a similar thing, but we don't have the right body shape.
Can you show us facing, can you do that facing us?
Okay. So it's a difference between this versus this. They got to be have space here. This, okay. At this particular moment, if somebody were to come to your side and go like this, they'll go right into your body. So we always need to be like that water pump. You know the pump. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, like okay, the water pump, so that there's this going on here. So when we go like this, now we've lost some flexibility here. We're too close to our body. The back is no longer sunk. The back is no longer round, and the chest is no longer sunk in this position.
And then when you get into the correct position, are you then moving the rest of the arm straight forward into a strike?
Yes. So it would be like this, Marion. If I go square, it'd be like this. But because I'm turning, then it may look different. But you know, this is too close to the body. You've lost your body shape now. When you're like this, right?
Right. Yeah.
So Tai Chi, there's some illusions that go with it because it seems like kind of like, okay, this is a good one. People think, oh my God, that looks so nice. It looks so lovely. Okay, but all we're doing is this. Okay, but it looks like more because we're turning. So it looks like the amount of space that we're moving through is much more than what we really are. But we're basically staying in front of our body. We're just turning. So that gives an illusion. Just like this. That's all this is, but it looks more when you're going like this versus when you're going like this. So body shape is vital to what it is that we're doing as well. And that comes with this third essential of holding in the chest and rounding the back. You cannot get this effect when you're like this. You get it when you're like this. That means then if you have your elbows by your side and your hands like this, okay, you will feel that your chest is puffed out and your back is slightly concaved in. But if we get into our body shape, just keeping like this and you go like this, your elbows will come out because that helps to give you this connection from your elbows to your shoulders, this connection. So if you have not been doing this, when, like for instance, with a knee brush, okay, from here to here to here, this is all one connected movement. It's just this lever is moving. This lever is moving, but my elbow is not doing this. It's this that's doing this. And then with the body turning, then you get this effect. So this third essential speaks more about body shape because in order for the chest to slightly concave in, to hold in the chest and to round the back, you have to have this kind of feeling, okay, where this slightly goes in, then the back will come, and then it'll pull your shoulders kind of a little bit forward. And do not be surprised if you have not been doing this. Even in this, if you know, hug a tree posture, if your body's not used to this, then these muscles here, these muscles in the back, oh, they'll talk to you. They'll let you know what are you doing. Okay, so don't be surprised if you wake up and you're sore here. Yeah, and in your back. I lived on ibuprofen for 2 weeks, taking it every day because my back hurt so bad. Well, it wasn't pain, it was just tension, a lot of tension. So, did that answer your question, Marion? Yeah, okay.
I think so. Thank you.
All right, anybody have any other questions? All right, your job this week. Oh, you guys got big job. All right, I want you to focus on this hold in the chest, rounding the back, also while paying attention to keeping your head up and keeping those elbows and shoulders down.
Yeah.
Okay, but this week is holding in the chest, rounding that back. Make sure you've got that body shape. Okay? Any questions?
Try.
Yeah, that's all we do is we try. And just, and don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad. Oh my God, I can't believe I just didn't, I just, okay? We're all a work in progress. It'll get there. It'll get there eventually. Don't worry. All right? Okay. No questions? We'll close class. All right. Thank you guys. This has just been a wonderful experience for me. I'm really enjoying our conversations. These are very deep, deep questions and answers and stuff. So anyway, go forth and Tai Chi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Go
Thank you,
sink your
Nancy.
chest and round your back
Go cook my
As
octopus.
always.
all through the week. Sink the chest and round the back all through the week. Okay?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Nancy,
Judy and Rita, hang tight.
Nancy, I just wanted to tell Mike, if he's around, that I woke up on Saturday morning because I, have a right arm issue. I was sometimes doing sword, practicing with an arm I'd never practiced before. And I woke up on Saturday morning and I was like, oh, I slept wrong. Oh, I slept wrong because this, I'm actually unicept because one's detached, but I was like, oh, my bicep. Oh, and that's what it was, so anyway, it was this soreness. Anyway, I'll see you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, especially with the weapons. Okay, so Rita, one of the things that, well, I'll let you share what Don shared with you, and then we can talk with Judy.
Okay, well, I think I told Judy that Don said that he didn't do it the way I did it, but he didn't give me any details as to what that meant. So somebody in practice had asked whether you were posting your class from yesterday, and I said that you didn't teach the class yesterday because I taught it, and that I would talk to you and Nancy because I said usually I don't post my classes to YouTube. So so now I'm talking to you guys. What do you think?
Well, my feeling is that any student who didn't come, who is motivated to watch something, ought to be given something to watch. I can't imagine saying we don't want them to watch the video. I do have a question that we'll deal with separately about something from that I was going to ask you and Nancy anyway, but my first reaction is, if you are comfortable posting it, that's partly up to you. Now, if you're not, we do have Nancy teaching, I'm sure, left ward off on a video, and we could give that video because you've taught section 1. But you taught it, you were there, and the whole class was there. They all participated, and you did the practice today. So it seems to me that if she came to practice, then seeing you teach the class would fit in with that.
Are you comfortable with having the video posted on YouTube, Rita?
Um, sure. I I'm not as good a teacher as you guys are, so that's the only reservation I have. But um, otherwise, I think fine.
Well, well, actually, what I'd like for you to hear me say is that you taught the class very well. And I don't think it's a matter of I'm not as good of a teacher. It takes experience, and you've had experience teaching the first. You've had experience teaching the whole form, okay? And to go back to what Don said, which I think was inappropriate, but anyway, to say to somebody, uh, "Well, you did really great. You did things that I don't normally do in class, so this was great," versus to say, you know what you did I don't do, and then to just leave it like that, it kind of leaves you kind of wondering, well, what the hell did he mean by that, kind of a thing, because we're all different in how we teach. We're similar in the message we deliver, but how we deliver that message, Judy and I are not identical twins. Same with all the rest of the teachers. I think you did a fine job yesterday, and it has nothing to do with whether you were better at doing it than Judy or whatever. It's just um, I think you did a good job, Rita. So so do not underestimate your ability to do what you do. So that's just my 2 cents. But if you
Well,
are
thank
if
you.
you are comfortable, and I'm serious about this, and if you want, take time to think about it and let us know. You can send us an email separately if you'd like. But if you're comfortable, then let's post it. If not, we can direct people to other videos. It's okay. So it's because this is yours, then you have the right of refusal or approval. So it's up to you.
Well, I was thinking of posting it primarily because it turns out I do teach it a little differently, and that in terms of the practice, that people reacted to it a little differently.
I don't understand what you meant by that last comment. Are you saying
Well, the
people who
thing
already
is
did the
that uh, the actual was more people who didn't know the form.
uh-huh.
So because I was doing it as a count, you know, the um, the fifth count is really a problem for people because you have so many things going on. You know, you're you have the shifting weight, you have the turning, you have the separating of the arms, and everything has to go all at the same time. And that kind of threw people off because the other parts seemed relatively simple. You know, then all of a sudden, the fifth one, everything goes to hell.
Yeah. Well, the blessing to the counting is it gives them those Kodak moments. It gives them the timing that they need to be in certain positions. And there are some movements that I think it's important to do the counting, and the ward off left, I think, is one of them. So, yeah.
Rita, did you get I mean, it doesn't sound like you really have a basis for figuring out what Dawn meant.
Yeah.
Did you feel it was
That was my problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
That was
wondering
my
if it
problem.
had to do with how in the TTM they laid out with Master Young, he does the footwork, and then he does your waist, and then he does your arms and your gaze, and whether it had to do with that, or, I mean, you might, I don't know if you want to check with Don on that, ask him a little bit more what he meant by that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? And teaching it differently is a good thing. You know what I mean? It is. I mean, that's why, okay, why do you think people enjoy Judy's class so much, or Dee Dee's class, or Kelly's class? Is because it's a new face, how they teach the class, how they want people to do things maybe a little bit differently from me, but we're all kind of different, right? And so sometimes that's a good thing because then what they're able to capture with me may be a little bit different from what they capture from Judy versus Kelly versus Dee Dee versus G. You know what I mean? So being different is not a bad thing, is what I'm trying to have you hear me say. It's not a bad thing. And especially
Okay.
for people, teachers that are not at our school, that could be a really good thing for them because, you know, uh, uh, because how we do things is, maybe a little bit differently from how other people do things. Just like how they do the TTM may be different from how I was doing teacher training. Did that mean that what I was doing, because it was different from them, is less than what they were doing? It's just different. The output is the same. I mean, look what you guys, So I would personally, for me, I would ask for clarification from Dawn, because that would kind of be kind of daunting me. It's like, like I don't really understand what he meant by that. And why is he talking about himself? Because he's supposed to be evaluating me. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's just really weird. But uh, to kind of leave it like that leaves a lot of room for your mind to just kind of go, and our mind tends to go the opposite direction. Instead of the good direction, we start going, oh my God, okay, so then I was probably doing all these things wrong from how he does it or whatever. And he was not coming in with the first essential. Right?
Empty.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a fresh new person, and you did the class, and how well did the class follow along? I mean, there's things that you got to check off on these lists that they have, but I mean, you did a really really good job. So I don't know what he's talking about.
I watched a lot, Rita, and I don't think he could get a complete assessment of the class because there were very few people whose lower bodies were visible.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
the one person I saw
Yes.
whose lower body was visible, she looked fantastic. So, I mean, and obviously they're brand new. So you had arms all over the place, but that to me is irrelevant because like they barely had anything here. So I don't think it was looking, whatever was in his mind, I don't think it was about it was about his perception of
About
what
him.
he was expecting, like what Nancy said, but I might ask.
Yes. Usually when people say stuff like that, it's more about them than about you. Because he said, I don't teach it like that. Well, you're not the one that's being critiqued here, buddy. It's me. So, okay, whatever.
We don't even know what their basis of critique is for TTM certification. I mean, I don't know if it says, in the literature, if it says much about that. And whether that's a different.
Well, what it says is doesn't address what his comment was, which is what it says is you have to make a lesson plan, okay? And you have to have, a greeting, you have to, follow your lesson plan, you have to have a summary at the end and close the class. But that's not much guidance, really.
Right.
I mean.
Well, they're also looking at, what you were saying, were you telling them, open your right foot 45, those kind of things. All the points that we go over, all the things that you did. You did all the right things, Rita. And I will say, you even caught it when one of the ladies was like this, and you said, no, 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 make sure you're, so, yeah. You passed in my eyes. That's all I know.
I spent too much time. I spent too much time on the hand thing because people were doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we go, can I ask a question that is off of this? Since Rita taught it, there is one thing that I do differently, and I wanted to know your opinion, Nancy. I hate to go in and they're having so much trouble as it is, but it's hard for me to teach that way. And that has to do with in left ward off. I do not do a regular close there. I don't, I reach forward because you're grabbing someone.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
understood that you had been
Yes.
trying to teach them circles, but I'm not sure I can go there. So do you think, Nancy, it'll be all right to say, we're gonna add, you were learning about a circle, but we're gonna add to this? Because I am going to talk to them a little bit about martial art component.
That's where you can do it.
And then I can bring that in. Okay, I feel like I need to, because I don't think, first of all, I will never be doing this, and I don't like seeing it.
Yes.
I want to see that. So, okay, so I'll bring that in, and then I'll also be able to talk about how each time we try to add an important element that might help them understand it better. So even if they start doing it one way, they might shift. Okay, I think I'll probably do that. So that's the only thing that I think would be not quite, but would be different. And I don't know if I were doing the footwork, if I would include the torso, other than the hip turning. I don't know if I would be cueing them at that moment about the torso, although it's nice to get them there. So that might be a little different in terms of how I would next week bring it in, but I don't see it as.
But I agree with you with the hand coming forward, because when I do it that way.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we basically want them to do the gross basic movement, as possible. And this made sense because they were doing this arm shape, right? The close shape. And I want to also remind you that most of them probably are not going to remember.
Right. Right.
And so the good place to bring it in is when you talk about, okay, so the reason why this arm is swinging like this, we swing it up like this, is because the opponent is coming to strike and we need to connect. So that's why the palm is now more forward than it would be over here, because otherwise that's saying that the opponent's coming this way. So that's a perfect time to introduce that, Judy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rita, I have to tell you when I taught my first.
It's not going to take away anything from what Rita did.
No, because you were teaching them about the circling.
Yeah.
But I was going to tell you, Rita, the first time when I taught my first section, and I made a kind of a mistake in an answer, and I spent the whole week fretting and stewing and being freaked out about it. And I went in and offered them a clarification on it. I don't think anybody had remembered I'd even said anything about it. And it was, I spent the whole week worried about it. Really, they're not going to remember.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
But,
all right, well, you think about it, Rita, with the video. Just think what's right for you, okay? We can make it work, whatever.
Okay, so my first inclination actually is to post it, because I think that it actually makes it easier for me to do the review if they have the video, mainly because I had so much in there. I mean, the left ward off just is a complicated move. There's just no getting around.
It's so easy.
I have to tell you, Nancy, what I told Judy. During one of the review sessions, one of the people had complained, after, preparation and opening, they said, oh, this is so simple. We should hurry up and move faster. And because the next few are probably, just as easy as.
Yeah.
Now they'll learn.
It's kind of like when we get to the third section, the end of the third section, we get to single whip, and we think, oh, we're home free. Okay, now there's snake creeps down. Okay, now there's bendable. Now we got the load. Yeah, so yeah, there's still whammies there. Yeah, no matter what, but yeah. Okay, so if you're okay, then we'll go ahead and post it. Rita, you want to think about it a little bit? It's okay?
No, I think it's okay, because I figure, it is a work in progress. I will grant that, but I figure, I do want people to practice with something.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be proud of your work. Because now you're going to be out there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, and the students will benefit from it. They will. So, That's good. Okay, I'll tell Michael to go ahead and post it. And yeah. Okay, anything else?
Okay.
No?
No?
All right then.
No?
All right.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.